Hey guys, welcome to day 4 of the Zero to Hero Challenge. If you're watching this video, you're one of two people. Either one, you're watching this on YouTube and you don't have access to the recordings of Zero to Hero REI, so you should go to zerotoherorei.com. Or two, you do have access and I have no idea why you're on the YouTube video because you should be inside the training. So get your ass over there and watch the training. But in day 4, I think we're going to learn a couple of things. I think we're going to learn, one, that people continually overcomplicate their business.
Yep.
And that we're starting to ease into the world of repetition, right?
Correct. Yep.
We're not quite there yet. I feel like day 5, maybe day 6, we kind of solidify that. But what happens in day 4, Cody?
So day 4, we had our call with Prime Corporate Services. So that's where we had the call for them to educate us on LLCs. Obviously, we've set up LLCs. We've done this stuff in the past, but you know, we acted as we were brand new to the process. Matt had a great call with the rep over there and helped us understand, like, hey, like what the heck is an LLC? You know, how does that get set up? How do I do that? Can you help me with that?
I truly do think that the only complicated thing in this entire Zero to Hero thing can justifiably be argued that it's the LLC setup. Okay.
Sure.
Because there are state laws and C Corp versus S Corp and all this kind of stuff. But when PCS says, hey, we'll do a consultation for you for free, and then you guys show them what that consultation looks like, it then obliterates that excuse that LLC should be hard. And everybody in the side chat were like, oh my gosh, it's really that easy. I guess I'll start my LLC now.
Right. And you see how like detrimental it is to not take that step. I think a lot of folks get stuck with, oh, I need to have this trust set up and I need to have this crazy corporate structure, and they've never even done a deal. They don't have, their business isn't even set up to generate any revenue, yet they're trying to think they have to have the perfect corporate structure. But PCS really just shattered all of that and said, hey, this is what you do. This is why you need it. This is why you need an LLC sooner than later, right? You can't itemize deductions as an individual, and like really like practical things like, okay, I need to do this, and it's not that hard.
What I think is so amazing, and this is a relationship. I'm in a mastermind called, ironically, Hero is the name of the mastermind. And I go down to Key West. I go down to Key West, and I meet one of the owners of Prime Corporate Services. And he's like, yo, we need to start a relationship. This relationship takes 5 months for us to get the discount and the setup and the structure and the free consultation for our upcoming audience that are going to be coming through Zero to Hero. They will talk to you about your LLC setup for free. And that happens in day 4. You guys show them how easy this phone call is, and then boom, it's all it takes.
That's it. Super simple. I mean, it was a great call. I think a lot of people got value from it, but ultimately that it's a lot more simple than you think, right? Again, the theme, simplicity. And he made it very straightforward. It was a really, really, really good call. So,
What else did we do?
Then, I mean, really, it was just starting to get to some of the grind, which is doing the daily huddles with the VAs, reviewing their calls, and just doing the call recordings, call calibrations.
I see on the whiteboard here to remind me, because guys, I wasn't in the live trainings, unfortunately. I was doing other things during the day, and I wasn't able to make it. And so that's why Matt and Cody primarily took care of this stuff. I see the word daily huddle. Now, I know what that means, but what is a daily huddle and why is that so important? You mentioned it, but you didn't call it daily huddle.
Yeah, well, I feel like a lot of people get stuck at this point, right? You set up this perfect foundation. I know I should get a VA. I know I should start generating leads, but then they remove like, okay, now I need to take action, right? Now I have leads coming in. They're not going to call themselves, right? My VAs have already vetted them. Now I have to do the hard thing, which is the business owner in the beginning. We got to hustle. We got to get people on the phone. So ultimately, I want to make sure that my time that is spent calling their leads is valuable, right? I want to make sure that I'm focusing on the most motivated sellers. So it's advantageous for me as, again, that zing word on day 2 culture, that number 1, they feel like they're supported, but number 2, they're getting continuous training. It doesn't stop.
So the daily huddle is like a 30 to 45-minute phone call where you do what on this call?
So on this call, we just reinforce the things that they know, right? So we'll talk about culture, things that we do something that's called attitude of gratitude, which is just, it goes beyond just the business, just beyond just how to develop the script.
Tell me the affirmations real fast. Tell me, what are they?
Well, I create my life. I play the money game to win.
Hold on. I want to say it. I create my life.
Yep. I play the money game to win.
I play the money game to win.
I get rich doing what I love.
I get rich doing what I love.
I'm a generous giver and an excellent receiver.
Oh, yes. I'm a generous giver and an excellent receiver.
So we go through our affirmations just like that. And it's beyond just, hey, how did this call go? Or, hey, how did Mr. Seller, like, this is how you get better on the call. Ultimately, like, for people to buy in to your vision as a leader, they have to know that they're being taken care of. And a lot of the stuff that we do, people don't talk about, or they just don't do. They just expect VAs to just fit in this box, do this one thing.
Guilty.
Right. And
I was that guy. Were you that guy?
100%.
Were you that guy?
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
You think they're like robots and they're like 3,000 miles away and that they're just going to like a
Generate
VA.
leads.
Why is the leads not coming in?
Right. Why are you not working? Why is this not? These VAs suck.
Right. And then you wonder, in the beginning, like a lot of things can work. You generate leads. Great. I need to hustle, get a deal. But as you grow your business, you wonder, why is the $1 I put in not generating me $4 out? Now that I've hired more people, my expenses have gone up. I'm putting $1 in and I may be getting $1.50 out.
That's not fun.
That's not fun at all. Like, why is that? And typically it's the people working inside the business. So I can't stress this enough. Culture is so important. And that's why we do it every single day.
Okay. So daily huddle. Are we just going to see one daily huddle as we're going through the rest of the challenge?
Every day.
Every
day.
Every day.
Every
like
day.
a robot.
So it's kind of like
Every
brushing
day.
my teeth. It's important, right?
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
If you don't brush your teeth, what happens to your teeth? They decay. They fall apart over time, right?
Yeah.
And shit starts stinking.
And then especially if you have to do the work yourself.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
You gotta be your own
gosh.
dentist.
So exactly. So tying it back into the dentist analogy from video number 1, guys, if you don't do the daily huddle, you see what happens. Things start kind of deteriorating and then people go, oh man, there's something wrong with my business. It's so important. So you're going to see that going forward on day 5, 6, all the way through day 15. There's a daily huddle every day, right?
Yeah. And the cool thing was the live audience got to know our VAs very, very, very closely.
Oh, yeah.
And that was cool.
I tuned in, I think it was like day 13 or 14. And I remember watching the audience in the side chat just talking about how much they loved the VAs and they were like cheering them on the calls.
Like, oh, he's my favorite. They've grown so much, and they're like crying. It's like their own kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's so great.
But it didn't take it didn't take years.
No, it didn't.
It took like literally 8 working days to get to
Right.
that point.
And a lot of times people feel like it's the VA's fault. They would have never got to that point if I didn't do my part in making sure they're getting developed every day.
The VAs were problem VAs. We talked about this in video number 2, is that the VAs that were ultimately hired for the Zero to Hero Challenge were problem children and people were overlooking them.
They didn't have real estate experience.
No real estate experience.
What?
Yes. No real estate experience. They have, like, a lot of them came from different industries, but ultimately, only thing I cared about was a good attitude.
Yep.
Right? If you got a good attitude, we can mold you. I can teach you anything. And
Yes.
honestly, prefer no real estate experience because it's got what?
No bad habits. Like
No
they
bad
come with
habits.
their habits of working with some lazy investor or agent that they might have been working with before that had them doing things in a certain way. And now we have to teach them to not do that. We got to unlearn that information and then they got to relearn the way that we
And
want
a
to
lot
do
of
it.
them, they're like stuck with that knowledge, right?
Yes.
They're like, well, I know, and they want empty their cup, right? They're like, I've been in the real estate industry for a couple years. Like,
Yeah.
great, right? Yeah, no, right? There's no thank you.
So what about comping? Like, were leads coming in at this point on day 4? Do we have leads yet, or is that more day 5?
Yeah, so we had a small sample size because again, most of that third day was training them, getting them ready to call, and then they started calling that last 5 hours. So we didn't have many, but we definitely had some good calls that we reviewed.
So you're telling me
Yes.
that you trained them on how to cold call, and within a couple of hours you had them on the phone, and by the
Yeah.
next day you actually had real tangible leads that you could comp for the live in the Zero to Hero.
Right. Well, I mean, so Start Virtual, they go through a training program. They get certified. It's 2 weeks. So they already come in with good knowledge and know-how. But my job is to get them to the next level, right? It's like you can have a decent conversation. I get that. But if I want to get the most, I don't know about most people watching this, I want to get the most out of the money I spend, right? So in order to do that, it's like I want to develop them and get them to the next level. If I know something, I want them to know it. And I need to be a good teacher and explain to them, this is how I get them to the next step. So very important.
Okay, so Cody, if I haven't taken action on day 1, 2, 3, or 4, should I be moving on to day 5?
You listened to me say this yesterday, guys. Go back. Take the action.
Take the pause, right? So like, let's say that I started the 0 to Hero challenge. I watched 2 or 3 days, and then I decide, you know what? I'm taking 4 days off with my wife. We're going to go travel to Costa Rica, whatever. Should I continue watching it while I'm on my vacation just because I want to consume content?
No, because you need to take what you heard and then go and implement and then come back with what you've now implemented, so then you could take the next step from there.
In the Mormon religion, we call that return and report. So you return and you report what you did, right? So that's what is going on here. You go day 1, take the action steps, and you return and you report and you go, okay, did I do everything? Did I get everything done? Perfect. So I imagine there's going to be some sort of ability to maybe have, maybe a monthly call with everybody. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. We haven't really
100%.
figured that out, but that would be really cool to be able to have these conversations on a monthly basis with everybody that comes through the recordings. My wife is bringing us Chipotle, guys. That's how amazing this is.
Yes.
Hey, babe, if I watched day 1, 2, and 3 of 0 to Hero challenge and I haven't taken any action, should I move on to day 4? She says absolutely not, guys. Okay, great. Will you bring some extra drinks, please? You want a Gatorade? What do you want?
I'm good with water. Yeah.
Yes, guys, we're
Yes.
leaving this in the YouTube video.
Yes.
This is authentic.
Yes.
Are you sure that's water, bro? It looks like muriatic acid.
I don't know where you got that from.
Oh, bro, 100%. Yeah,
Can we bring that on the camera?
Okay, what did we learn from this video, guys? Cody loves himself some Fresca.
Dude,
Hold on, wait, you got some Fresca?
I don't know if this is Scottsdale water, public water
my
system,
gosh, bro.
but it looks a little cloudy.
That's muriatic acid, 100%, Jesus. What are you doing with your life, dude?
you got like amino acids or something.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Oh,
Straight from the tap.
Sure.
That's just tap water.
it's good for you. So, guys, if you haven't taken action on any of the days yet, please stop. There's 2 things that I see people do incorrect here. Number 1, I don't care what CRM you use. I don't care what website builder you use. At the end of the day, you got to use what you feel the most comfortable with. But what I do care is that you, 1, took action in general, and 2, you hire virtual assistants from Start Virtual or at least a competitor that has CSMs and the proper onboarding. What we see, and I get DMs right now. In fact, I'll show you one if you guys want. I legit have a DM from today where it's somebody comes into me saying they're having problems with VAs, and I go, great, who's your person? It's right here. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Came in at 10:29. Right now it's 12:10. This is very fresh. Went through the 0 to Hero challenge, went off and hired his own VAs that had no onboarding. They were improperly onboarded. They weren't done. It wasn't done correctly. Oh my gosh, that is the only thing he's struggling with. Every other part of his business is humming along except the proper virtual assistant. So I'm telling you, if you're going through and you're taking action and you're going to like some crappy company to hire your VA, set your foundation proper. Go to startvirtual.com, go to the upper right-hand corner, click on hire a VA and set up a phone call. If you don't have access to these recordings, 0toherorei.com or click the links down below. We'll see you in day 5.